Hello everyone, it's Wellsy. Welcome to my Words of Wisdom channel. I wanted to start this channel because I want to offer people help. Now, I'm sure many of you, like me, gone through a lot in life. I grew up in a home where physical abuse was common, and emotional abuse and neglect were more common. My father was poor at communicating verbally, so he communicated with violence instead. As a result, I sort of learned what not to do from him. I spent most of my teenage years battling depression and anxiety, and when I was about 17, I graduated high school and began working several different jobs and was really directionless in life. I had a big falling out with the people I worked with, who also were good friends of mine, and I felt like I was in a rut in life that I just couldn't get out of. Once again, I started asking the question, why me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Finally, I found a little parable. I don't remember where I first saw it or read it, but I will never forget the first time I read it. I want to share with all of you that parable and how it answered the question that I had been asking. Why? And who knows, maybe some of you will find something profound from it as well. There's once a king who built a great road that spanned his entire kingdom. And in celebration of this road opening, he invited people from all around to come and travel on it. And he announced a competition to see who could travel this road the best. On the day of the competition, people showed up in their finest clothing. Some were in wagons, some in carriages, some carried on the shoulders of others. But amongst them, there was one person who stood out. This individual didn't stand out because of his finery, but because of how plain he looked. He wore only sandals, tattered, worn-out clothing, and he walked with a walking stick. As soon as the competition began, everybody took off and left the man in the dust. About halfway down the road, there was a tall hill, and at the bottom of the hill, a sharp turn. And as each of the competitors came over the hill and around the turn, they encountered a large pile of rubble that had been left over from the construction of the road. And because of the speed which they were traveling, none of them had time to avoid the rubble. As a result, people tripped and fell and hurt themselves. Wagons broke wheels and axles, horses threw shoes. It just caused a lot of chaos. As each of these people reached the end of the road, they complained to the king about the rubble and how it caused so much destruction. About midday, the old man finally reached the pile of rubble. Because he was walking, he was able to avoid the danger. But he looked around and he saw all the damage that had been done by this pile of rubble and decided he was going to clear it himself. It was a tiring and difficult task, and it took him the rest of the day. But finally, around sunset, he pried up the last big stone and found something underneath it. Beneath the stone was a wooden chest, and upon opening it, the man found a letter from the king and a pile of gold. He opened up the letter and read in the king's handwriting, "Congratulations to whomever reads this note, for you have won my contest, because he who travels the road the best is he who makes it smoother for those who follow." And just like that, all of my suffering had purpose. It had meaning. I saw the rubble in the road. I had been through it. I knew where it was, and I knew the kind of damage it could cause. And suddenly I had this impulse to start clearing it, to try and make the road a little smoother for the people who came after me. I came to understand that when you give suffering meaning, it stops being suffering. I look back now at the things I went through and I don't see them as unfair. I see them as opportunities, chances for me to learn and grow, and then share what I've learned with others. I finally came to understand that my suffering wasn't intentional, just part of the vicissitudes of life. I've always been a bit of an empathetic person, and once I realized what was wrong and how to fix it, I wanted to share it with others. So here I am. That's what I'm finally doing. Despite everything I've gone through and the things I'm still going through, I've been able to find happiness in life. I've been able to find peace. As I look around the world, it seems like both of those things are in extremely short supply. So I intend to make videos to address anything I can offer advice on. So feel free to ask any questions you might have. I know sometimes you have questions you want to ask maybe your parents, but you're too embarrassed, or a teacher, but you don't have time. Well, I'm a parent and a teacher, so ask away. Now, I don't have all the answers, and I am by no means perfect, but I do my best. And if I don't have the answers, I'll admit it, and I'll do my best to find them. My whole life has become about the pursuit of truth. It's not easy to find, but it's worth it. And I'll tell you this, I'm pretty average. I work a gig job. I have an average family. We have average cats. Basically, what I'm saying is that I'm nothing special. And so I know that if I can get through these things, so can you. And I guess my message is there's hope. Doesn't matter who you are, you can find peace and happiness too, even amidst all the chaos that's going around in the world. Now, experience is the best teacher, but it's also the most painful. And so if you can avoid learning through experience and instead learn through the examples and wisdom of others, I recommend it. And I hope that my experiences somehow help some of you to avoid the rubble in the road. And who knows, maybe some of you will find the same inspiration that I did and start wanting to smooth the road yourself. I just hope that this channel is able to offer hope and help to those who are in need. Well, here we go. See you soon.